Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Canada, and tonight we are here for the second evening of my 2022 to 2023 annual catalog kickoff. So welcome. I have more things to share with you this evening. Lots of DSP tonight, some marvelous designer series paper to share this evening, and some really weird things in my camera tonight. What have we got? Oh my gosh, the camera was tilted and turned and all the rest of it. So, anyway, it is what the craft studio is. So if you are joining me, say hello. Let me know that you are here and that you are watching. And if you are new to Great Stamping with Connie, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy that you have found me and that you are here and joining us this evening. So I am just going to scroll down on this other device and get it going so I can see who's here and what's what. And oh dear, where did that go? Why did you do that? I touch things and I don't know what's going on. Now I have something weird coming up on the tablet. It's not at all what I wanted. So, okay, I think I can, come on. Little coaxing maybe. Why is it not? There we go, going to my page now. Now let's know what I want to do. I just want to scroll down a little bit, please, and find something that lets me know for sure that I'm live. There we go. Okay, I think I have it. So tonight, what do we have? A little bit more of a look into the catalog. Oh, look, and there's all the people. Open the door. And what is that? Here is the church and here's the steeple. Open the doors and there's all the people. Get it going on Facebook and there's all the people. So Terry, Donna, Nancy, and Ginny, wonderful. So awesome to see you all here tonight. So I'm going to flip this so that we can dive right in and get into this brand new catalog. Hopefully you have a paper copy and you can thumb through it and page along and all the rest of it. Jen, you enjoyed last night and looking forward to tonight. That is awesome. And Terry, yes, you did make it. You almost made it last night. You were almost right there when I posted the picture. So I did post a picture of one of the cards that we made last night, and it was the one that showed all 5 of the in colors in the glimmer paper. And I did invite you to leave a comment letting me know what your favorite in color is. And it can be your favorite in color of the day, because I do understand that it's really hard to pick just one forever. But anyway, leave me a comment. You won't regret it. So tonight, what are we doing tonight? We are going to take a look at a couple of different bundles. So one of the bundles, maybe I'll go in reverse here. It's going to start with the Sending Smiles, but I will go in reverse because that's what the make and take is. So let's go back to, did you notice these lovely little tabs? I would like to send you a set of these lovely little tabs so you can find things, and you can hopefully get them on straighter than me. You get one kick at this, ladies. If it goes on crooked, it is staying on crooked because you will tear your paper. But these are tabs to help you find various sections in the catalog quickly and easily. So it's part of my thank you gift to you if you place an order this week using the host code that is in the comments from last night, and I will add it in to the post from tonight as well. So you may have seen that there is some beautiful designer series paper. We're not actually going to play with any of these tonight. I'm going to flip over to some of these. Can you see these down here? We will Oh, I'm doing this all backwards. But anyway, we're just going to do it backwards because I had it all sort of planned, and my brain just cannot rearrange the order of things at this point. So uh, here's what we have. The first one is actually not on this page. It is over on page 134, the Sun Prince. And this is all shades of blue. So if you're a blue person, kind of like me, you might like this one, as I do. So we have, and I'm just going to plunk these down here so you can see Pacific Point, Night of Navy, some white in there, different fern and growing things, seed pods. That almost looks like Queen Anne's lace. There's some more. We do have some stripes just to get away from some of the nature stuff a little bit, and some. Oh, hello, Joanne. Welcome. Gosh, we have a full house tonight. This is excellent. I'm so glad everyone could join. It's speckles, not quite an animal print, but a little bit of a hint of that. And then we have this piece that would just be awesome for scrapbooking, I think. All you scrapbookers out there can let me know, but I think this is beautiful. So that is one side of this paper. The other side, whoo, look at that. Isn't that just it's not even anything. I just like all the marbling and the shading and the tones. There's a lot of gray granite on the back. So you will see that as we go through, except for this piece, which is splatters and has all of the blues again. But there's another one, the gray granite, and these two as well. And these continue on with the ferns and the nature and the leaves and all that sort of thing. And then this is just sort of a marbly kind of look. It almost looks like this is some sort of script in here. I don't know that you can see that, even if I hold it up. It's not very it's not very focused, is it? Almost looks like, but it's certainly nothing you can read. But that is oh yes, Terry, if you don't have this one, you may need to order it. That is the Sun Prince. It's like that paper. Oh, and we have a lot of Girl Guide people on here tonight. So probably many of you have done this with your girls. I know we did it at composite camp a few times, where you get that paper that reacts to the sun, and the girls collect leaves and twigs and things, and they set it down on the paper, and you leave it out in the sun, and then you end up with white where you had things, and blue on the rest of the paper. It's got a name. I'm sure it has a name. I'm sure I knew the name at one point. So, and I thought I would just bring this in to show you. This is just a standard card box that we made in one of our team meetings, and I don't have the measurements for it here with me tonight. It is, I'm sure it has been on my blog though, but it will hold 8 cards in envelopes very, very easily. This is sort of standard card size. And that's just one of the more plain pieces of paper, and I haven't actually decorated this yet. I was going to do that quite some time ago. It got set aside, and it hasn't happened. And it still hasn't, but there you can see a big piece of the Designer Series paper in action. So I thought I would share that with you. But if you like that Sun Prince kind of look, there is also the pack that I showed you on the previous page, or started to show you, called Pretty Prints. And this is the same sort of paper as the Sun Prince. There are 4 colors, so it's in the shaded spruce tones and colors, the Calypso Coral shades and tones, Evening Evergreen, and Blackberry Bliss. And so I have pulled out Now there is, because there are 4 colors in there, there's 3 sheets of each, so there's not as many patterns as the sun prints, but there is one with the leaves, and there's one with smaller leaves, and then here is the sort of the dandelion seed pods blowing in the wind. And then on the back, here's another one of these scrapbooky kinds of pages, maybe. And then just the marble mottled look, and then the splotchy kind of one again. So you don't get the stripes and you don't get the little speckles, and you only get one color on color kind of thing. But there's 4 colors in the package, so those are the 4 colors. So very similar, but gives you lots more color choices and options. So that is that. The next paper that I want to share with you, did I tell you there's lots of designer series paper tonight? This is grabbing my packages because I want to always make sure I get these names correct, and I don't have this package here. So we're just going to go right back here because here it is on this page. Texture Chic. Now this is a specialty paper, but it is a beautiful one as well. So there is gold embellishments on one side of all of these papers. And this is Pool Parties and Petal Pinks. There is Petal Pink with the gold. This is, I believe, Melon Mambo. Might be Fresh Curry. I should look because I need to know, and I will tell you why in just one moment. Evening Evergreen, Mango Melody, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Soft Succulent, and Soft Suede. So here's the Evening Evergreen. This one is more of the Pool Party. And then back to the Petal Pink. Now, as beautiful as these are, I have to tell you that the backs, they don't have the gold foiling on the back, but the prints on the back are also awesome. Like this, it's very, very chic. You know, almost like a boho chic or something. There's pretty combinations of the colors. Here we have Soft Succulent Evening Evergreen in a snowflake pattern. And there's similar kinds of colorings on that one. And then we have Petal Pink and Soft Suede in the seashells. And the reason that we have, you know, snowflakes and seashells and flowers and leaves is because the stamp set that goes with it is called Season of Chic. Looks better on the screen than in the book. You know what, Ginny? You are absolutely correct. And that's why I like to put all the pages out to show you, because the book, the catalog never does justice for the designer series paper. It's, I always say, if you hate it, like really hate it in the book, you may not like it. But if you think it's not great in the book and you order it, you will like it. If you like it in the book, you will love it when you get it. It's always so much nicer. And even from the camera here to real life, it is just, it gets better and better. Whoops, look at that. Took everything with me. Put that back down there. Not that we're doing any stamping at this moment, but let's flip this back to the shiny side. Anyway, Season of Chic. So this is, I'm going to say, the most versatile stamp set in the whole catalog. And it is for that reason that we selected it. There are dies that go with this. I have them out because I was using them because I have a card I was going to put together with us. But anyway, I digress. We are using this bundle. This bundle will be our primary focus for our next online Crafting Trio Global Retreat. And the big exciting news is that while this retreat will be hosted by Sarah from Australia and Terry from the US and myself, Connie from Canada, we also have a bonus guest presenter from the UK. So we are hugely international because it is in our summer, and we know summer weekends are so very precious to everyone. We have decided that we will run it for 4 days. This is a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in July, and it will run at different times because we have people in Australia and people in the UK and Canada and the US. And we have covered, we've just about covered a 24-hour time zone. I think there's 14 hours in total difference all around. But anyway, a lot of different hours and different crafting. But this is coming up in July. I will have more information out about this coming very, very soon. But what you may be interested to know right now is that this is the bundle that will be our primary focus. And you may recall from the last one that we all focused on one bundle or one suite. Last time it was a suite where we had the blessings of home and that the bumblebee one. But this time it is a bundle. And then each of us will focus on another stamp set or bundle as well. So we will introduce you to 5 different bundles and have lots and lots and lots of inspiration and projects to share with you. Make and takes, a goodie bag, the whole 9 yards. Very similar sort of setup to the last one, and but different stuff this time. So that is coming in July. You will hear more about that, but this is the bundle. So if you are ordering, you may want to just grab this bundle, and then you can do everything exactly the same way as us when we get to this. But I do love this set because it covers the whole year, including Christmas. Oh, perhaps Christmas in July. Oh, let's not give away too many secrets. Okay, that's just your little tease. Alrighty. I had a card that I thought I would put together to show you the seasons of Chic, and I sort of have it laying out here. I got a lot of it ready, but I thought we could kind of craft this together. So I have not, well, I did use the stamp set for this. You make each season of life even more beautiful, which I thought was a wonderful sentiment. But what I have here, we actually go to the suite for this, which is on, tell me, page 98 and 99 in the catalog. So there we go, Texture Chic. So here is the designer series paper that we just looked at, and you're right, it looks so much better when you see the full page. Then there is this distressed gold specialty paper. It's very thin. It's not like some of our heavier specialty papers. It's thin, but it's interesting gold looking. And there's the bundle with the stamp set and the dies down the bottom there. The other beautiful thing about this, the dies, you can absolutely use without the stamp set. Now, I think the stamp set is marvelous, but I know there was, some of the stamp and die sets in the last catalog, when we were looking at them together, we sort of went, not loving the stamp set, but oh, look at those dies. And the dies could be used as standalone. These absolutely can be used as standalone, which is what I'm doing right here, right now. So I have cut out all of the seasons. So here we have the winter snowflake. And because these are fairly very fine. I have used the adhesive sheets on the back of all of these because even getting this off of here will be, just kind of have to get your pokey tool under it, get it started, but it will be just slightly tricky, I think. So it's very fine. Maybe I should have put some of these together. You probably don't need to see me pulling these all apart, do you? Anyway, there we go. This off here. There we go. And then this is a sticker, which is very handy to put onto. If I can get it lined up. And while it is sticky, you can kind of set it down and pull it up again if you need to. But there we go for that. So this is the distressed gold. I'm not sure how well you can see it. It's shiny, but not as shiny as the gold foil. And it's a little bit marble look to it. This is supposed to look like it's distressed. Go figure, right? Oh, here we have. I couldn't decide what color to make my fall leaf because I didn't want to go too wild. I'd already picked out the pink for the summer seashell and the this is sweet sorbet for my spring flower. And okay, so I don't really want orange and I didn't want just brown, and I knew there was only going to be one. So some of those autumn colors look great when you see them all together. I pulled out Mary Willow, and then I thought, well, that doesn't necessarily conjure fall the same way as yellows and oranges do. If I have this going on right, this does fit exactly. You just have to kind of figure out. There we go. Which way to turn your flower. Get it lining up. Get my finger out of here so that this side can go down. This last piece can go on. There we go. And one more. My summer at the beach. Oh, Wasaga Beach maybe. I often spend summer not at the beach. I go to the cottage, but I am definitely spending more time on the beach this summer. So let's see. I have submitted an application to participate in the Wasaga Beach Farmers Market that runs on Tuesday evenings, and we will see. Hopefully that gets approved. I have no clue what the process is, whether they approve you or whether they take everybody. A friend of mine did it a few years ago before COVID, and I went and saw her there, and that's really all I know about it. So we will see. This Saturday, if anybody happens to be planning to travel to the Barrie area, there is a shop local market at my church. So I would love to see you there. Come on out, say hello. There are, what did she say? I think there's about 14 vendors, and they were trying to get a food truck to come. I haven't heard whether that got finalized or not, but around the world in tacos or something. Around the world, 180 tacos, something. It sounded like a take on the around the world in, it was 80 days, wasn't it? Not 180. Wasn't that a movie way back when? Anyway, it sounded like a bit of a take on that. And this guy has all sorts of tacos and taco flavors, apparently. So that would be kind of cool. And if he wasn't going to be able to come, then the church I'll say the church ladies because they're organizing this event, but the church ladies who were going to solicit help from the church men probably will be hosting a barbecue. So there'll be, if you want to come and grab some lunch there, you can do that and check out all the artisans and see some great stuff. I know a few of the vendors that will be there from our church. So anyway, that is this Saturday if you happen to be planning to travel to the Barrie area. Okay, so I just put white squares on here to mount this all on, and I was going to do this, and I'm popping these all up on dimensionals, which I'm sure you have noticed while I was blabbing away. There is almost, I don't know whether it's supposed to be or whether it just kind of looks like a heart in the middle of this snowflake, but I'm putting it right side up. So that's which way it's going. So that's winter. Then we need spring flower. This can go any old way, I suppose. Just try and get it in the center. Oh, summer seashell. This might have been a good make and take, except that I only got this recently, and I had to plan the make and takes before I got this order. So, there's my fall. Okay, this is longer than I need, but I am going to leave it for now. I'm not sure if I want my sentiment to go past this and right out to the edge of my card. I have been thinking that I might, but I'm not sure. I don't think so, actually. But I do think that I will pop it up. And I decided I should make it the full length of the of the card after I stamped it once at the end and thought, oh no, it should go over the whole thing. So now I just need to see where the ends of it are so that I don't put dimensionals on the part that I'm going to cut off. Okay. So for tonight's question, let's use this card. We've got all the seasons there: winter, spring, summer, and fall, or autumn. Somebody told me they don't call it fall. Was that, I think in Australia, I think it was Sarah. We got talking. She said, we don't even call it fall. We only call it autumn. I was like, okay, learn something new. In Canada, of course, we call it autumn and we call it fall. So either one here. But anyway, leave me a comment and let me know what your favorite season is. Now look, see, I was trying to be so careful to get that where I wouldn't cut it off, and I missed it. And it's a little bit too far out. So I'm just going to pull this out. I didn't even bother to try and save it because it just seemed like it would be easier to start fresh and tuck one in underneath here. There we go. And then I can cut this off. Okay, there we go. And then we will just attach this to our card base. This is Starry Sky cardstock. I don't know if I gave you all the colors, but so we had Tahitian Tide, Sweet Sorbet, Petal Pink, no, Blushing Bride, sorry, and Daffodil Delight are the colors that I used for the seasons. There we go. There we go. And there is a card that covers all the seasons in that tropical chic. No, not tropical chic. Season of chic. All the seasons. Oh my gosh. Too many tropicals, too many chics, too many brain not working. Okay. Should we let's dive into another package of designer series paper. Like the card with the 4 windows. Well, thank you. I use this from time to time, and I hadn't used it for a long time, and I was thinking, like, this is just, it's a perfect kind of layout. So I have already heard from Nancy that perhaps this is one of the papers that caught her eye. Happy Forest Friends. So basic gray, blushing bride, calypso coral, mossy meadow, old olive, Sahara sand, smoky slate, soft suede, and so saffron. So there's not a whole lot of bright colors to this. There's lots of other papers that have really bright colors and things. So this one has color, but it's a little bit more along sort of some of the natural tones. And these are patterned on one side and then just a plain color on the back. Shall I keep you in suspense? So there's the calypso coral. Oh, should we do them all? Okay, calypso coral, old olive and pear pistache, smoky slate and basic gray, Sahara sand, pear pistache, and olive again, and this is the so saffron. So as much as these are not super exciting, they are still great for backdrops for your cards. Add some color, add just a little bit of subtle pattern, but whatever you're putting on the main focal image of your card isn't going to get lost in this. So it has a place. But here's where the fun begins. Okay. So there is the front with all the mushrooms and the toadstools. And I'm sorry, having been in Girl Guides for a million years, this just makes me think of brownies and the toadstool and the whole 9 yards around that. And then we have some oak leaves and acorns and some other leaves and greenery and some little berries, lots of fun things. We have some tree stumps, more acorns, some logs. I don't know what this flower is, but this little kind of flower guy here. Anyway, cute, very natural background. And then we get into the Happy Forest Friends. And here we have our friend the bear and our friend the fox and Mr. Owl, some birds. And these, to be honest, I'll not be fussy cutting these, but I could, do a broad cut around to take that out of there. You love this one, yes? I read that somewhere, Nancy. I'm so glad you liked it. And then we get into one, if you watch my lunch breaks, you may have seen this piece that is super for, you can cut it in half and make some quick and easy cards with the colors in the bottom, or you can just use the tree trunks as a backdrop. But wonderful piece of paper. This could be used for scrapbooking too. Look at that. Here we go. And then we have this last piece, which is a whole bunch of cards, like already laid out for you. When I looked at it, at least that was my thought. So here's a card here, the bear in the forest with the bird and the flowers and everything. And then we have the owl in the tree with the fox. These trees, these would be super easy to cut, and some mountains. So there are lots of things that you could do with with just this one piece of designer series paper. And there's probably, I have lost my catalog. we go. Now, I did not order the stamp set or anything that goes with this, and so now I haven't even looked that up, and now I'm not sure what it is, so I'm just going to see if I can find it here. Happy Forest Friends coordinates with Happy Forest Friends Suite. Makes sense. Page 46 and 47. So 46 and 47. Here somewhere. There we go. Okay, so here is the stamp set. So there's our bear again. He is bigger than this bear in the designer series paper. So this bear is smaller. Can you see that? Oops, that's not even in the camera, is it? This bear is smaller than this bear. And this owl is smaller than this owl. But this owl might be the same size. So there are dies, and I suspect that at least some of these dies would cut around some, because there's tree stumps and things as well. So they would probably cut around some of the pictures in the designer series paper as well. But there is the whole suite. So that's lots of fun stuff. Happier than happy for you. What a fun sentiment. And hello baby, of course, because this could be great for kids or for baby cards. And this one, they are coloring him a little bit darker. They're doing some blending with the aqua painter, or water painter, it looks like. So just a few ideas. If you are ever looking for ideas for card making, ladies, I suggest you just open up the catalog. There's so many ideas in there that you can, copy from. So here, and again, this was from one of my lunch breaks, but this was a super quick and easy card that I made using that one sheet of designer series paper, just cut in the middle, and I used the flower portion at the bottom. So there you go. I need to run and get one thing. I need to see if it's on the table because I forgot to bring it. So just give me one moment here. Look at the card. Look at the card. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. All right. So I mentioned that if you're stuck for ideas when you're crafting and you want to be inspired, to open the catalog. But you don't have to open the catalog. Sometimes you can be inspired in other ways without even opening the catalog. So, anyone recognize this card? I might have, did I show it? No, I don't. I did show it the other night at Mystery Stamping, but I don't think any of you were at Mystery Stamping, so I think we're good for this time. Anyway, leave me a comment if you recognize that card at all. And in the meantime, I'm just going to set it over here, and we will move on to the Sending Smiles bundle. This is right near the front of the catalog on page 14. So, Sending Smiles bundle. It is a stamp set and die set. It has sending, and then it has lots of things that you can put with sending. Smiles across smiles, all the good luck your way. Sunshine to brighten your day. Love and big hugs. Birthday wishes. A note of thanks. A card to say hello. Comfort and strength. Okay? So you can send all of those things, but some of them you can use without the word sending as well. It's entirely up to you. So there are dies, and this, oops, let's get it in there. It's backwards in here. I suppose I could pull it out. Anyway, you can tell it says sending. And here is sending in thinner letters. So this goes around the outside. We'll go around the outside of the stamp if you stamp it, or you can cut the thin one. And then there's leaves and there's flower pieces and stems and stuff. And then there's a couple of banner pieces. So again, super versatile, lots of wonderful sentiments in there. And I have a couple of cards that I have to share. I actually made one more, but I had to send it. I was making it specifically to send, and I needed to get it in the mail. So I don't have it to show you, but it'll probably show up on a blog post at some point. So here is the sending, and I have cut this. This is cut with the die. So there's the thin letters of sending, and then the background is the outline of the word sending. Okay, so sending love and big hugs. Super simple, super easy. A little bit of bling on the side and some clear rhinestones, which I also used for my eye, because I don't know about you, but I can never find the little dot that comes out of the die, or I find it, but it's so itty bitty, it just seems like it's a pain in the butt to try and stick on there. So I just add a little bling in this spot, works perfectly. And I use the adhesive sheets before I cut out this top sending. The bottom one is fine, you don't need it for that. Lots of room to glue or put adhesive, or in this case, dimensionals, but really makes adding the thin letters a lot easier. And this is the fern embossing folder. It's one of the new embossing folders, the fern. So there we go. And then the other card that I made to share with you is this one. So on this one, I stamped the word sending, and I cut it out with the background die. So it's just cut around the whole larger word. Sending a card to say hello. And then all of these flower pieces, you can stamp and then die cut. But I will tell you, ladies, it is faster to die cut and then to stamp, because you can just die cut anywhere, piggly. This is a photopolymer stamp set, and it was very, very easy to stamp these after I had die cut them. Just so you know, I thought I was missing a stamp, but it just moved over a little bit. So super easy to die cut and then stamp, which is not always the case, but it absolutely is with this one. I give you my word. Now I have not tried stamping the stems. I will confess to that. But stamping these flowers on the die cut little pieces really was very easy. Okay, I am not getting any more comments here. Nancy Coe left the last comment about the designer series paper. So hopefully you're all still there. Hopefully this is still going on. Hopefully I haven't lost you all, because I'm still waiting for some comments on this. Yeah, I don't know how to. I suppose I could refresh this. Will it go away? Just give me a moment here. Let's just see if we can refresh this, if we can get it to come back up again. Just see. Okay. Oh, Terry's still there watching and enjoying the cards. Okay. So, so at least one of you is still there. That's good news. Okay, so that is the Sending Smiles bundle, which happens to be what we are using for tonight's make and take. So for tonight's make and take, I've done nothing on this one. I'm working completely from scratch with you. Okay, so you will have, and you will need A basic white, thick card base. A piece of Night of Navy that is embossed with the fern embossing folder. Another strip piece of basic white, regular cardstock. And then a piece of the Sun Prints paper. And you are more than welcome to do it this way. It's going on the navy, but that works. It's entirely up to you. Okay, this card obviously has the navy showing. You should have a 1/2-inch strip for the sentiment. I have several here because I kind of think my make and takes have all sort of smushed together, but you will only need one for tonight. Hopefully, only one. Hopefully your stamping goes well. That one looks a little bit narrower than that. Maybe I will use this piece. That one looks a little wider. Anyway, I'll use that. Then you have a die cut of the stem and a die cut of the flower. Now, as much as I just told you it's very easy to stamp on these after the fact, I was assuming that you would not have the stamp set at this point in time. So I made it just white on navy. If you want to add some color, you could certainly color these pieces with your Stampin' Blends, or you could sponge them. You could use your blending brushes, whatever you like. If you want to add some color, feel free to add some color. It's entirely up to you. And then you have 3 pearl gems. Okay, so super easy to put this card together. I think that I will I'll start with the tough part. Start with the stamping. And so here, as I had indicated, I did. Okay. So oh no, I was gonna say my sentiment's on a block somewhere because it wasn't in here, and I didn't recall doing that and didn't know where it was, but it's not. So I am not sending a card to say hello. It's just a card to say hello, and that's just the sentiment, and that completely works just like that. So you don't have to use the sending all the time if you don't want to. Okay, and I stamp this with Night of Navy, which is what the paper is. If you don't have Night of Navy, you could bring in a color if you wanted, or you could use Memento Black if you have that. You could use a lighter blue if you are going to flip your paper over. That is gray granite. So you can use whatever color ink you have. And hopefully you have a narrow sentiment because, again, this is from the stamp set. But if you don't have that, you'll have to choose something else. But hopefully you have a narrow sentiment onto a 1/2-inch strip. It's kind of a standard sentiment size, at least in the Stampin' Up! World. So hopefully everybody has something they can use. Okay, I'll just close this up because there's not a lot of stamping tonight either. Last night there was not a lot of stamping. Tonight there's not a lot of stamping. There's not a lot of stamping in any of these making tapes actually, which is kind of how I've done my card classes lately as well. Given that we're not gathering in person, I try to do things with die cuts and things where all you need is a sentiment. You can use whatever you have on hand. But speaking of sentiments, my June card class is going to feature the Go-To Greetings stamp set that I don't have handy because I wasn't planning to talk about this tonight, but here we are. Look at me not following the script again. But I think I'm going to do this one this way just for something different, just because I have one in the blue. As I say, you guys, you can go ahead and do it whichever way you wish. So this is a narrow border, so I would do that with liquid glue. Also because it is embossed, the glue tends to get in all the little crevices a little bit better. But I think I just want to make sure the white flower on here stands out okay. Just for something different. I think I'm just going to give it a go. We'll see how it goes. Yes, June card class features the go-to greetings, which has 5 different sentiments in different fonts and different sizes. It is what I would consider to be an absolute must-have stamp set. It is just, it's all the ordinary everyday sentiments. Thinking of you, hello, thank you. This is a big test now because I don't have it in front of me. I might have to pull out the catalog because I will mess it up. So, look, according to my little tab, here's the index. Oh, which one's down there? Your picture. Go to greetings is on page 26. Here we go. Check this out. Just a note, happy birthday, thinking of you, thank you, hello. All different fonts, all different sizes. It covers everything. As I say, I consider this to be an absolute must-have stamp set because you can make a card for absolutely any occasion with this one if you need to. So, and beautiful fonts. My gosh, look at those beautiful fonts. So, the June card class will include that stamp set. So if you sign up for the June card class, you will get that stamp set as part of the card kit, along with all the paper and embellishments and envelopes and everything else you need to make 4 cards. The class is, oh, strain my brain. It is whatever I said in the email I sent, I think yesterday. It's $45 local and $50 to ship to you. But don't quote me for sure on that. But I think that's what it is. Oh gosh. I'm talking too much. I'm messing up my gluing here. You would think I could multitask that, wouldn't you? Lord knows I do it enough. Okay, get this on here. And then the flower I put on with dimensionals. So both the stem and the flower I put on this card with dimensionals. Now you may need to can use the mini dimensionals on this guy, or you can cut the bigger ones. Actually, the mini dimensionals one will go right up to the top, but that's okay because I'm going to put the flower over top of it. So I think this will work okay. And the sentiment is going to go across the bottom, so you don't need to worry about it all being stuck down everywhere. It will hold it enough. If I can get the backs off. I struggle to get these backs off more than the others. Don't know why, they work exactly the same way. It's just a thing. Just put that out there. I guess I can put dimensionals on that one. Is that it? But we'll go back to these. Faster and easier. For me, anyway. Don't look for the logic. It's me you're dealing with. And I think that you can put this any old way that you like. I just kind of tilted it off to the side. Not quite so much tilt. There we go. And then I'm going to put my sentiment on with dimensionals as well. Okay. I can't believe how fast the hour goes. Look at that. We have 2 minutes left. We're almost finished. Okay. I'm gonna put this right across here. Hopefully straight. Put the lid back on my glue. I have this all a little high, perhaps. So, guess where the gems are going to sort of pull the whole look down. See, that's the beauty of, you know, all of this. You just kind of, come on, baby, flip me over. Okay, there's some really stringy adhesive on this for some reason. There we go. Okay, a couple more here. There, that will just kind of balance out the fact that the flowers are a little higher than I wanted it. But it does, doesn't it? It draws the whole thing down. See, it's the magic of crafting. Okay, so here we have those. Where did there's the one we made. I know I showed a few, but there's that one. We'll just put those in there. Maybe we'll just spread this out. So, no guesses. Nobody recognizes that card? Take a look at that. You may or may not recall. I'm just going to bring this back. Oops. Oh my goodness. Everything's on top of everything here. There we go. Bring me back so I can be with you. You may or may not recall when I first showed you the new catalog and we couldn't even open it. All I could show you was the cover. And we were looking at this card on the cover. Sorry, lots of glare there. Hold that up a little bit. Maybe I'll just tilt it. I'll put it on top of this. There we go. That's probably a little bit better. And I said, oh, and I don't even remember whether I had looked inside the catalog at the point that we were talking about it, but I figured for sure I thought this was a stamp. It turns out it's designer series paper, but they are die cut and the leaves are die cut and this is stamped and this is designer series paper and of course some new gems and this beautiful font. So, and I mentioned how much I loved it. So I was looking at it a little while ago and I thought, I have to make it. I just have to make this card. And so I did. So there's the catalog in real life. I had so much fun making it. These flowers are die cut from the Happiness Abounds, I think. It's the name of the stamp set anyway. I will be sharing this with you. So you will see more of this stamp set. But that is where that card is from, and so you may recognize it. So anyway, that is everything for tonight. We are 2 minutes over time. I apologize for that. I didn't get through a bunch of stuff. We saw a lot of pretty paper tonight, didn't we? Did a little crafting, had our make and take demo, and I think we're good. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I do hope you will be able to come back tomorrow night. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Tell me what your favorite season is. And we will see you all again very soon. Good night, everyone.